Okay, so the first tip that you need is how to actually draw polygons to get things to show up on the screen. In this case, our polygons are going to be triangles, but triangles, squares, rectangles, all the way up to 20-sided shapes or whatever have you, they all have the same basic idea in CodeSculptor. So let's take a look at how to do that. The first thing I need to tell you is that you need, well, this is a lot easier if you have graph paper. You can either get graph paper in class or at home, wherever you can find graph paper. You can also use some online graph paper, though I haven't found a website yet that has graph paper that I think is really great. But this one here that I've been using, of course, it's the first one when I search for online graph paper. This one works kind of. And what I mean by that is you have to visualize, like, okay, great, I have graph paper. If you think about it, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kind of blocks of squares. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going down, well, even a few more going down. The thing is, I kind of want to picture my screen in terms of 800 by 600. So if I pretend like each of these blocks, like this big, is 200 pixels, I can go 200, 400, 600, 800, and then 200, 400, 600. So I can kind of pretend like this is my screen. And what you want to be able to do if you're trying to draw a shape is you want to think to yourself, okay, I want to draw a rectangle and I want to put it on the screen so that it looks like this. Oops. And if I was to do that, what I need to figure out the XY position of each corner of my rectangle. So if I wanted to do a triangle, like let's just do a tiny triangle over here, you would want to find out the XY coordinate of each point on your triangle. So you need the places where the shapes change direction. You also need to know that the drawing will happen in the order of the points you put it. So if I say start at this point and then I say go to this point, it'll draw this line, and then I say go to this point. If I say start at this point and go and then this point, but then I say go to this point, then it will draw the line from here to here. And so, like, let's just say I say start at this point and go to this point, and then go to this point and then go to this point. It will literally draw like down here, then it will draw over here, then it will draw up here, and it'll drop back over there, and you'll get a weird like hourglass thing. Can I erase these lines? Probably not, but that's okay. So I can click, however, so I can put like 0, 0 here, and I can put 200 here, 400. Come on, 400 here, 600 here. Well, maybe not. Fine. And 800. So by using this, I can then look at here and I can say, okay, this is 200 over. How many down is it? Well, here's the 200 down, which means that each of these has to be 40 pixels. So I'm at 200, 80 to put this point right here. I'm at 480, 80 to put this point right here. I am at 200, 400. So I'm at 480, 480 to put this point right here. And then I am at 200, 480 to put this point right here. So if I put those 4 points in, when I show you how to do that, I would get a rectangle that is proportionately the exact same thing on my screen as you see right here, just of course bigger. And then here, triangles are a little bit trickier because triangles aren't always going to line up nicely. And so you're going to have to say, what point is this? Well, this one does line up, so it's okay. It looks like it's over 640 and down 240. And then maybe I want this point right here, and it's however numbers it is, and this one's whatever numbers it is. So you need to be able to visualize where these points are. If you can do that in your head, great, but you may need to draw them out, especially the fancier the graphic, the more you're going to want to draw out the points first. Okay, all that to say, let's take a look at how to do it. So now we're in CodeSculptor. Again, I keep these things down here. Well, maybe I don't want to put Mr. Steen rules anymore. Maybe I want to put Zelda or Triforce in here. And then I want to draw a polygon. So it's going to be canvas dot draw polygon. And now what you're going to do, this part is maybe just a little weird, but all of the points inside your polygon are going to go inside some brackets. So I'm going to go back to that in a minute. Then you want the thickness of your line. So let's just say, hey, maybe I want to make it 5 thick. And then you want your colors. So this is where you can use your color palette to say I want slate blue, and I want, maybe it was just called slate, and I want lavender. That should be beautiful. I don't even know if I spelled those names right, so we'll see what I get. Now inside of here is where you put your points. And again, every point is going to be like an XY like this. So that needs an XY, that needs an XY. And so if I'm going to have a triangle, I need 3 points. I'm going to do a rectangle as an example, and I need 4 points. Now you don't have to build it like this. You can just go and type it as you see. But I'm just trying to give you some ways to see, what's going on. Why I made them bigger every time, I don't know. So this is going to have to be, your first point, your first X and Y point. This one's going to be your next X and Y point. And again, I'm just trying to make them in a spot that's easy to see. So my first X and Y point for this was, I said 200 over. Remember, do over first, and then 80 down. So I say, okay, my first point was 200 over and 80 down. And my second point was 480 over and 80 down. And my third point was 480 over, 480 down. And then my last point was 200 over, because I want to line up with that one, and 480 down because I want to line up with the other one. And so now when I run that, if I did colors that are decent, maybe I did colors that don't exist, and so therefore I get colors that don't exist. And I have to really figure out how to not cut this thing off every time I want to do it, because then I get to the point where I can't actually move it. I guess can I come over here? I wonder how to clear this out. There should be like a close button that I don't actually have to reach the close button for. Let's maximize this thing. Boy, what if I refresh it? Am I going to lose all my work? Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So that's the kind of thing where you could lose your work. Maybe I should have saved it first so that when I refreshed it, I had my work, right? Canvas. And you may have enough clues that you can just quit this program right now, and you don't need to see me try to do this, because all I had to do was get my graphic to show up on the screen by using better colors. Oh, now I'm okay. Point 1, point 2, point 3, and point 4. And then a thickness, and maybe I better use some regular colors this time that I know I can spell. That should look awful together. I'm gonna run that. There we go. Okay. Maybe I just need to not either make this smaller than 600 by 800 or not care about seeing the bottom of it. So there's a polygon. It's a rectangle. You could make a triangle, you just need one less of these. In fact, I could take one of these out and say run, and then it would do a triangle to those 3 points. And so that's how you create polygons, and I'll let you figure out exactly how to do the Zelda part, and I'll let you figure out how to make it look like the Triforce, and what colors you want to use. That can be up to you too. So enjoy that one.